Welcome back, everyone, to Silver Cosmo Movie Reviews.
Yes.
Here we go.
Straight from the Fortress of Solitude. It's the off-brand Superman, Marquez Christopher Eason.
And surfing this silver cosmos. It's Captain Chris with a K.
Mine's under construction, you guys. This is your host, Carlos, in the house. You guys, we're here to talk about Superman Legacy.
Yeah.
Guys, do not forget, we're always going to be giving up the movie ticket giveaway. Also, follow us, like us, subscribe. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and soon to be, we're going to upload on iTunes and also Spotify. Before we dive in, let's take a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Hey guys, why don't you check out She Barber Cuts Barbershop and give Markeisha Brown, the licensed professional barber there, a call at 316-218-3566 for all your haircut needs. She's got cuts for kids, adults, and for those looking for the good one, the deluxe with beard trims, wash, and hot towels. So don't forget to give Markeisha a call at She Barber Cuts and see her at 2319 North Ridge, Barber Suite 6A here in Wichita, Kansas.
Hold on your seats. We have Blast Off in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Superman Legacy starring
David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnahan, I'm sorry, I know I butchered that name, and Nicholas Holt.
Not as bad as I'm going to do this one. Eddie Gathegi, Anthony Kerrigan, Nathan Fillion, and Isabella Merced.
Directed by James Gunn. Hit the jet fuel.
Spoiler alert!
Yes.
If you have not seen it and you don't want us to give it away, all right, let's talk about Superman Legacy. Marquez, you have the floor.
Okay, first of all, guys, you guys have to understand, I've been a Superman fan for most of my life, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah. No, but this has been a long time coming for me personally. I mean, I've always said that Henry Cavill was my Superman no matter what, but now, oh man, it was just a great movie, guys. I don't know where to begin, but I guess the best place to start is the cast. You know, David Cornsweet, he's a great Superman. He really is. I mean, the way he portrayed this character, guys, honestly, to me personally, it's just a visceral, loving, mental, and emotional process that can actually free your heart if you allow it. There was a couple of parts in the movie for me that really touched me. I gotta, if you guys don't mind, I want to talk about this for a moment. But something in the movie, this is a spoiler. I'm gonna try to keep it a little spoiler free because I really want everybody who hasn't seen this movie to just experience it for the first time, go in fresh. You know, to me, there was a part, something happens in the movie and it divides the public as along lines as far as what they think about Superman. And, you know, he goes home. You know, he goes to his home in Kansas, and Paul Kent, you know, he's doubting himself. You know, he's human, and Paul Kent says to him, you know, I don't care what people say about you. I have never been more proud of you. And it made me think of my son, because the first time I went to see the movie, it was the day before I took my son off to college. And when he said that in the movie, you know, I thought about all the stuff that me and my son we've been through in the last 3 years. You know, with him losing his mom, you know, him not, you know, going to the school that he initially wanted, and just how it made me think about how to manage expectations and moving forward. And I looked at my son, and he got emotional from that part, and that made me emotional. And it was just like, man, and it resonated with us, and it was just a very powerful and impactful moment in the movie. And I hope people take away from that what I did. You know what I mean? It was just a family bonding moment that I didn't think my son was, you know, because, you know, he's 18. Oh, I can't be hugging. I can't be, you know, he's at that age now.
Yeah.
You know, so,
Get away, Dad.
yeah, you know, he's still at that age. So, and I just, you know, Parker, if you're listening, I love you, and I've never been more proud of you.
We are all proud of you, Parker. Come on, let's kick some butt over that Garden City Community College.
Yeah.
I was also watching. I watched it with my son as well, and had similar reactions to that scene. I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I thought this was so well done. I did like a lot of the character or like the cast choices
Yes.
myself. I thought they were really well done.
I happen to think you can never give too many thumbs up.
I thought it was James Gunn. I'm a big fan of James Gunn. So
Really?
just from the yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah. from the offset, like I thought he did a great job of really digging in on Clark Kent, Superman's like his humanity.
Yeah.
And like really dug into that character. Now there was a sacrifice that was made, but I think it was okay. Like when you look at all the other characters, even Lex Luthor, not quite as much Lois, but still a little bit Lois. Like they're like when you see that movie, they're almost like comic book caricatures of like they're portraying. But I thought that's great. Like every scene, like this movie was about Superman and his internal struggle and strife that he goes through in his, just his mind and how he's dealing with all the things around public. And all the other characters, Jimmy, the sports reporter guy, like they're almost they're just little side pieces behind the.
No, you're right. They're peripheral characters.
But I was okay with that because it was so deep. Like the Superman character, to me, I thought they really went deep on that, and also with the Lois relationship, I thought they went really pretty deep. Not necessarily with the Lois character, but with the relation. They just went really deep with his relationships with his parents, his relationships with Lois, and a little bit even some of his friendships with Jimmy and those guys. Like it started to get, I think they want to leave a lot more to go, but I really liked how much it was about Superman without being an origin story. My goodness.
Yeah.
Like I love origin stories and I love Superman, but man, there's been so many and everybody knows where he came.
I know. And that's one of the things. I'm glad you brought that up because I did not want to see another origin story. And this is coming from somebody who is obsessed with origin stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I got it.
I mean, what makes the character how he is, what is the source of his willpower, what drives him, all that. I love that. But then we know this, guys. This has been done multiple times. And I did not want to see, and it's the same way when Batman finally comes out and the gun.
Don't you make fun of Batman.
No. No, I don't want to see Martha Kent's beads get caught up in Joe Chill's gun again.
Right.
Okay. I don't want to see that. And I have to say this. A lot of people, I hear them talk about how, because in this movie, Superman, people are saying he's soft. He's not and think about this, guys. I want you to, I believe that power without compassion only breeds destruction.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I think if you have this hardened, stern, no nonsense character that is so powerful, he's only going to destroy things. There's no way around that. And I felt like this, to have a guy who is so powerful yet so grounded. And I don't mean grounded as in realistic. From a narrative point of view, I mean grounded within the narrative as somebody who just keeps his wits about him, regardless. I mean, and I was just saying, managing your expectations. I don't see what's wrong with a guy being powerful and kind. This seems to be something that people take issue with. I don't know if it's the whole popularity of the anti-hero, because anti-heroes, they gained popularity in the 90s, with Wolverine, Blade.
They were good, but they weren't kind.
Yeah, Spawn, the Punisher, all great characters.
In fact, they were the opposite of kind and
nice.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite of every guy you've ever met.
But they were good. They were still the good guy.
But having a guy who doubts himself and thinks of himself as human, even though he's technically an alien, and he connects with people. And people connect with him. And I think that's one of the things that makes the character so endearing, is the fact that he's vulnerable in a way that you don't expect him to be.
But I think a little bit of that connection is what brings the humanity out. Like his connection with Lois and with his parents, and even with things as small as squirrels, like that connection to the planet. Yeah. Yes, he is an alien. Like that is, we're not going to change his DNA.
No.
But he has a human emotional spectrum, I guess, like human, but of the better side. Like
yeah.
Well, let's look at it like this. We've seen a lot of interpretations of Superman itself. What I got out of this movie with James Gunn, I've already foresaw what we were going to have with him. We were going to have a story. We were going to have jubilant action, vibrant colors,
Yeah.
a lot of comedy relief, a lot of down to earth. He knows how to get to you. James Gunn is one of those writers. He can get you to the realistic terms and be able to relate to. I
Yeah.
get it. Superman is invincible. You could say that. But that's what makes a superhero so wonderful and so easy to like, when you're able to have him see the flaws and how he can overcome the flaws. And James Gunn did a great job using other characters.
Yes.
Because he could have destroyed Lex Luthor. That's something you could always do. But the deal is that with him, you were able to use Ultraman, which that was off the comic book,
Yeah.
and also using other characters to kind of help out. Because that was one thing. What was the one that Bryan Singer did? What was that? Superman Returns?
Yes. Yes. We're brand
Like in that one,
2006.
that one with Kevin Spacey. I like Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor, but it was too vulnerable. It was too like, come on, really, Superman? You're going down like that?
That
That's just
script killed that movie to me.
Yeah,
I mean,
wasn't
that
a great.
was-
There wasn't a lot of explanation. There wasn't a lot of.
yeah.
There wasn't a lot given from the script.
And that
um,
was,
yeah.
and that
But
was,
now
I will say from this one thing I liked, like this is a kind of a change from a lot of the Superman prior movies, is Lois Lane was not in trouble.
no.
Like she
She-
did. She,
she
ne-
was
I mean,
not
I
a
think
damsel
like
in distress.
something
Yeah.
came falling towards her once or something that he kind of helped a little, but
Yeah.
like she wasn't the main one being held, in peril.
Yeah.
And in fact, his the time that he did face someone being held at gunpoint, it was just a random guy that he had met once on the street,
Yeah.
but he still had that same care, like the same emotional response you would expect like him to maybe have for a Jimmy going down, or
Yeah.
remember that scene in Guardians of the Galaxy 3? Remember when Rocket Raccoon, when his friends they got eliminated? The
Yeah.
bad guy.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
notice that was like a parallel? The same thing with him watching someone that just helped him out,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
just for him to go like that brought a lot of that humanity out of Superman. So
Mhm.
that's something I do give James Gunn credit. Also, I want to say is being able to bring in the Justice Gang and then showing the
that
Hall
was
of
great.
Justice.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was
smooth.
amazing,
That was
yeah.
smoothly done.
Yeah.
And look, let's just put it out for the record, you guys. Now that we're back we're back in action here. I'm gonna just give this one time for all our listeners and viewers out there. We appreciate you guys. We're not gonna sell out. We're not here getting bought out by nobody. We speak our minds on the movie, and then you take it, you leave it. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, that's what makes us family. That's what makes us overall a podcast to join in and listen to. You speak your mind, we speak our mind. It's free here. We're not getting bought out by nobody. We're not here getting subjugated to just listening, or we have to say a certain thing. No, it's all hands on deck. Speak your mind. Just throwing it out there. Paid by me. Anyway, but
Yeah.
back to what I wanted to say is that was a great point there. Also, too, give credit to James Gunn being able to introduce, Crypto, the dog,
Yeah.
Crypto, bringing him in, and then it was greatly done. Back to what Marquez was mentioning about his parents, back in Kansas. That was wonderfully done. And then shout out to Bradley Cooper, and what's the actress that played his mom? What's her name? Oh,
She's on House of Dragons. It's like
Oh.
she looks just like Lady Gaga. I love it. But it's like
with bigger eyes.
Aliana Strahanina.
Well, anyways, that was greatly done. I mean, I'm still always going to be a Marlon Brando fan.
What did you think?
And
Because
Russell
that
Crowe.
was, I know that was a little bit of a controversy. What did you think about that? Because I think in most of the stories we've seen, it's always been his parents saying, stay there, protect him, be
yeah,
good. And
okay.
this one, it brought in the whole message. Supposedly, I think the engineer, and my theory is that she altered it a little bit, but it's still the message that was shown, obviously, that he was supposed to kill. And
Okay.
Marquez, I have to ask you a question. I have to ask you a question.
Okay, because I got a lot to say
In
about
the
this.
comic books,
Mhm.
did his parents truly want him to do what he wanted them to do?
No, I mean, think about the symbol. It means hope. I mean, and what kind of what that contradicts the meaning of who
Right.
and what his family crest means. So if he was sent to Earth to conquer, what is hopeful about conquering? Like I say, a dictator evil dictatorship by their very nature is its own destruction. I mean, because people want to be free, people yearn to be free, and if you put them under tyrannical rule, eventually they're going to rise up against you. I mean, study history.
Right.
Now that part of the movie, guys, honestly, that's probably the only part about the movie that just kind of, I won't say rubbed me the wrong way, but it was kind of like, wait, what? I think, I could be wrong. I haven't spoken to James Gunn, but I think they wanted Superman, his character, his strength of character to be based on his upbringing, not his lineage.
Right.
You know what I mean? To say, okay, if the Kryptonians were all benevolent and they only wish to do good, and then that would somehow take away from him being raised by these pure-hearted, kind,
salt
loving
of the earth
people. Yeah, you know what I mean? So maybe that's why he did that.
Yeah.
I mean, now as far as in-universe, as far as the movie's concerned, it was a twist that I was not expecting. I was like, wait a minute, this is real? And then also to speak to that, it's maybe not letting my birth define me. And like his dad said,
Sure.
like his mom and dad said, it's your actions that determine who you are, not your lineage.
I'm a little curious because with Kara Zor-El, the Supergirl movie coming out, so I don't know if they'll change the history on that, but typically she was sent at the age of 11, 12, 13. That's how old she was when she got lost in a time thing.
Yeah, they
so that's
that.
how she. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but I mean, but she was sent as having already lived on Krypton or Krypton equivalent world, and so will her personality reflect if the Kryptonians were in this DCEU, if it's the same, if her beliefs were the same as his parents, if that's going to reflect.
And
there was a little like maybe. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. And I don't know if this is where you're going next, Carlos, but we got to talk about the other characters, the cast. Yeah.
Well,
I know. Sorry.
Thank you for letting me the platform here. So yes, we're going to dive in on that. So let's go ahead and start off with, random choice here. Let's start off with Lex Luthor.
Okay.
What were your thoughts of Lex Luthor? Marquez, you have the floor.
I like the fact that the character wasn't just evil. He was also pitiful and petty and just vindictive. And he was shallow, superficial, narcissistic, hypocritical, irrational, rude, manipulative, immoral, selfish.
Like the epitome of Lex Luthor.
No, he captured all that in just one movie. You know what I mean? Every scene. Just the fact that, the idea of him being envious of Superman, him holding a grudge, trying to prevent. It's very childish. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we all at some point growing up have been envious. You know, I remember my friend of mine got a Superman toy that I didn't get, and I was like, oh, no, I'm just playing, guys. But no, I love Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I didn't think he would do that good of a job.
I was hesitant going in, but I thought he did well.
Yeah, just the emotion, the hatred, the anger in his eyes.
Now parallel him to Kevin Spacey and Gene Hackman, the legend Gene Hackman.
They were just evil businessmen. This is around the time because Lex Luthor. Okay.
What about Eisenberg?
Jesse Eisenberg was not a good Lex Luthor.
No,
that's why I left him out on
purpose. Okay.
No, he acted more like the Joker to me, in
Yeah.
my opinion. I did not like. I like it, the actor. I like Jesse Eisenberg.
No, I didn't think he
not
was
as Lex Luthor. Yeah, but I think Lex Luthor originally was just an evil guy who, I don't know if you guys read the earlier comics, but he had a hatred for Superman because Superman caused an accident that made him lose all his hair. It's like,
right in the original,
in the original continuity, and it was like, okay, what? But no, and I think the idea of Lex Luthor being an evil businessman only came about into the late '80s, mid to late '80s. I don't think that was
because the Gene Hackman one was a little more gangster,
kind of thing. And then in the comic book, they started portraying Lex Luthor as this businessman that was just evil, had all these resources, this intelligence,
and then he almost became like a evil Iron Man, like
Yeah.
has like a Kryptonian
He had a
suit.
suit. Yeah. And eventually
and-
he got cancer from handling kryptonite.
Yeah.
And it changed his mind, his neurochemistry, his bloodstream,
Which
everything.
honestly, I could see this version of Lex going down that, like that they push it because he is almost to the point of just insane now.
Yeah, pretty much.
At this point in his life, like it's not an origin story. He's not just becoming Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
He's been Lex Luthor and fighting Superman now for 3 years.
And that's what I like about and to parallel him with the Jokers, he I think Lex Luthor, he embraces the madness brought on by his envy of Superman. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to be helped.
Right.
He doesn't want to change. He wants to actually no, most villains don't believe that they're doing bad. They always think that they're helping. But Lex Luthor, no, he knows.
He knows he's doing
and
he's attempting to do worse, like take over the other country.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
sorry,
a
spoiler alert.
there's a German phrase. It means you take pleasure in other people's suffering. I think it's called Schadenfreude. He's the epitome of this. I mean, he wants to bring Superman down because he thinks that humanity, he in his mind, he thinks that Superman is far beyond humanity. So bringing him down, that would mean that humanity is far beyond him. You know, I think that's the psyche there. You know, if I had to analyze Lex Luthor. I mean, I'm not-
All right.
but-
So next up, Lois Lane. Chris?
I like this Lois Lane. She was grounded. She was, I thought, had a really good throwback to the original. I thought both Superman and or Clark Kent and Lois Lane had a really nice throwback to the original Christopher Reeves version.
Yeah.
Like they had that look. Not, I mean, she was pretty, but not like drop dead gorgeous.
Excuse me?
She was, yeah, she's very pretty. She's still a movie star, but it wasn't highlighted necessarily. Like she had a kind of a down to earth feel about her. She was very, I liked how they had the give and take. Like she's like, okay, you ready for me? I'll bring it. Like,
yeah, I think Cat Grant was the eye candy of the movie.
she was,
Yeah.
and she was the much more like,
Yeah.
did she have more than a couple lines? And just,
Yeah, I think they did that for that.
I did resemble a little bit of this Lois Lane from the original Richard Donner Superman.
Yeah.
Just that whole intensity, being a reporter, staying strong.
yes,
That reminds me of the traditional Lois Lane. And what I really liked about this one compared to the Superman Returns is that, like you said, she was not always had to be in danger.
Yeah.
And this one, that didn't even apply to her. And I do admire that.
Yeah. Me too.
Now, I do want to say she did a great job. James Gunn, well, she's one of the. James Gunn wanted her from the jump and said already, "Hey, I want to get her."
she looked like Lois Lane when I picture Lois Lane.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, I want to do is the supporting characters. Let's talk about the Daily Planet, the Daily Planet group,
Just the whole crew.
the crew itself. Just in
Perry
summary.
Wright, what's his name? Olsen.
Jimmy, that like, what a funny storyline! Like,
Yeah.
and he's the crux of how they solve the like
and
his
that was
weird ability to pick up the hottest chicks, and Lex Luthor's girlfriend is still on. Like that's so.
Yeah, that was a bit much.
Like
But
that's
still.
that's the caricature part that I like. That was totally a caricature of Jimmy Olsen
But-
and the bimbo.
Yeah, and keeping it comics because that was, in my opinion, that was absurd.
Well, and just that.
You know, comic book characters are absurd in a
Well,
way.
and
so
Chief,
that's why-
the chief being like they're going down. That looks good. Okay, send it.
Yeah.
Like,
that was funny.
That was just a
Oh,
little
yeah.
skit. What about Marquez? How do you feel about this introduction of the Justice Gang?
Yeah, I thought it was. I could see them growing. I think they purposely left a lot of potential for growth within the universe there, like new members, people coming in, people being associated with it, and the name was a point of.
well, that's
It's
I mean, it seems like
Yeah.
it's a foreshadowing to eventually becoming the Justice League.
Yeah, of course it is because they have the Hall of Justice,
Right.
You know, and Guy Gardner. He was so great in this.
Yes.
I loved his
Oh,
character.
And I
Nathan
can't wait till
Fillion
we
was
do. We will do for on
fantastic.
Vice. We will do the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
do not forget about that.
And
But
the haircut.
we're gonna get ready to do. The haircut. The haircut.
Yeah,
was-
Lois even referenced.
Yeah, that's what. Like, really.
Yeah, that was good. That
Now
was
tell
great.
me about. Now let's go ahead and talk about the direction of this movie. Now compare James in summary here with Richard Donner's, and of course can't compare to throwbacks.
No,
because those are the
but-
TV series. But let's just focus
Okay.
on the movies itself
Okay.
with Bryan Singer, Zack Snyder,
Yeah.
and James Gunner. Marquez, tell me out of those three movies there, what made James Gunn better? What not where he fell short? What's your quick opinion on that?
I think to me personally, the comic book accuracy. A lot of times, when you bring characters from the page to the screen, I think they lose their ability to internalize. You don't really see what's going on with them interpersonally. I think James Gunn portrayed that really well. Just the fact that him and Lois, Superman and Lois, would argue, and they would experience that kind of antagonism with each other, and you really got the feeling like when someone you care about tells you something that's hurtful, it's far more hurtful, it's far more impactful than if some random person on the street says the same thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's the attachment. It's like something, I can't remember who told me this, but they said that the way you're attached to something, when you say you care about something, all your hopes and dreams are tied up into that. You're tethered to it when you say you care about something. And then when that something or someone hurts you, it's your connection to it is damaged. That doesn't mean that person is a bad person. You know what I mean? And I really felt like James Gunn, he captured that really well with Lois and Superman's relationship. And I'm going to do this as quickly as I can, Carlos. I apologize for being long-winded, guys. But back to the cast for just a brief moment. One of the things that they say is really difficult in movies when you have multiple heroes and multiple characters is giving them all enough screen time.
Sure.
Making sure that they all get fairly represented enough on screen without overshadowing each other. Even though it's a Superman movie, I thought that was handled really well. I really thought that they did a good job at showing all these characters in the best possible light and promoting them well. So the supporting cast and like you said, the Justice Gang, it was a great opportunity for that. I mean, and it was handled really well. Mr. Terrific was terrific. I'm gonna say that, pun intended. That scene with him, man, I get excited even thinking about it.
He was one of my favorite characters in that movie.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about the character Steel, guys. During Death and Return of Superman, John Henry Irons was Steel. I felt like DC, they could have made him the DC equivalent of Iron Man. Maybe John Henry Irons develops some technology and gets some investors and becomes a wealthy tech person, and then keeps advancing his suits like Iron Man. But they didn't really do that. Now I feel
Steel
like
Man.
Yeah.
Because they do like to
Steel
play off
Man
each
Robotics
other's-
or something like that. Yeah. And I feel like now Terrific has that opportunity to be the Iron Man of the DCEU.
For sure, especially because he's already. He's not the leader, but he kind of the current Justice Gang.
No,
I think
Still.
Guy would say he is the leader, and the other two would say no, you're not.
Yeah.
But I think he kind of is the level-headed one, and the one they will like. Oh, if he says it, then we should do it.
Yeah.
Type of deal.
He was very structured and measured in his responses to things. And the way he would talk to Lois, he's like, they're not circles, they're spheres. Circles are flat, spheres around.
Well, and I could because I think traditionally Superman is essentially the leader of the Justice League because he's the strongest. But he's always trying to pass that. Like I don't want to do that.
Yeah, he's a reluctant leader.
Which I could see him being like, terrific, you're the leader. Like I got your back, whatever you need.
Okay,
I don't know.
Yeah, let me ask you guys.
There's so many spitballs we could go down.
What other characters do you? I mean, okay. After Supergirl, who do you think gets the? You guys think Batman should get?
They're gonna have to. I think they're gonna have
Carlos
to
is
do
a Batman
something similar. I know, but I think they're gonna have to do something similar. Well, and we still got Aquaman.
Yeah,
is he still Flash? Like, are we gonna
Flash,
redo that?
Aquaman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
I know my wife would love.
and Aquaman. That was the last. I mean, James Gunn was at DC by the time they released that.
Yeah.
And there was just a lot of, I don't know if this is going to stick or not. Like, are these characters? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, DC's got so many good
Yeah, and that's another
refreshing thing about
this
speaking of
movie.
which, like the Peacemaker cameo was
that was
great.
Yes, I'm glad someone brought that up.
Yeah,
John,
yeah.
Especially with the second season
Yes.
getting ready to drop.
that was great. And one last thing, you guys, I want to say is for the people that are not familiar too much with Superman, and since we're talking about the movie itself, what advice could you give them going into looking at this movie? For the people that don't really know about Superman, like how would you help them
for
out?
the few people in the world that don't know?
Right? Because you got that few. You got
Okay,
that
I'll
few.
let you go ahead.
I'm not even. I mean, just go in with an open mind. Like I think just an open mind. Like take the Superman and see what happens. That's kind of like
Yeah,
it was like to me. It was it's just a great story. Like it was a really good story. And I loved Henry Cavill. I thought he was a great Superman. But I think you're right. Like David Cornsweet really fits that.
yeah.
Like because Henry Cavill's that ripped. Like he's obviously Superman. He's like the comic, like just muscles galore.
Yeah,
But I feel like the Christopher Reeves, the Superman before that, the TV Superman,
yeah,
and David Cornsweet is a rip. He's physically fit.
yeah. Oh yeah,
But he's not that huge bulkiness that Cavill brings, and I think that streamlines it down better. I thought it was just like, I don't know, just go in with like it's Superman.
yeah.
I think this new one, the way David Cornsweet did a great job. James Gunn did a great job picking him. And overall, his demeanor, the way he stood out, I feel he was more human, a human type of Superman. Henry Cavill, don't get me wrong, he is and then the OG classic Christopher Reeve. He's always going to be the OG.
Yeah.
And then I forgot, and I met the darn guy. What is his name? The one that played in The Adventures of
Brandon Root? No.
Dean
no.
King.
Dean Cain.
Dean Cain, right?
Yeah.
Adventures
Okay.
of Superman.
Yes,
Lois.
Yeah.
great guy, down to earth guy. I give him his respects, but no, the deal is that Henry Cavill brought that new age Superman, and
Yeah.
of course, when Zack Snyder got him, I knew this was going to be a good Superman. Just unfortunately, James Gunn had a different vision in a different direction. Now, these new lineup of people, we know already that this is just opening up one step forward to the bigger picture in the DC universe. Because we know already James Gunn has got them pairing off against Marvel, because we know already Marvel now is getting ready to gear up to their, especially with Doomsday going forward. But in the meantime, for this Superman, this is just the start. You guys, well, that wraps up the movie itself. Let's go ahead and take a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
With spring here and all the storms on their way, you need to make sure you have the proper home, auto, and all your properties insured. We here at Razor Cut Information just can't get enough of our favorite insurance man, Ernie Ruelas. Please visit Ernie and his State Farm agency at 11330 East Central Avenue, Suite 400, Wichita, Kansas, 316-682-2300. Thank you so much, Ernie.
The Silver Cosmo movie lining movie ratings is presented by She Cuts Barbers, and we're going to present the Hope Stars. So out of 4 Hope Stars, which is, for you guys don't know what Hope is, it's the Superman signal. Marquez, how many Superman signs, aka Hope sign, you get?
I'm trying to put my bias aside, but man, I really had a fun time with this, guys. I mean, I've already seen it twice. I might go see it again.
Nice.
Here before, because I'm in love with just the experience of going to the movie.
Sure.
That's kind of
It
my
is
thing.
fun,
It's been for a while. So this will be the first movie I give a 4.
4.
It will be, the only issue I had, I mean, and this is a nitpick, I just wish the costume was a little more form-fitting. I felt like it was too much like a uniform.
I thought it was good because it was a uniform, because it was more like a space uniform, like
the Guardians,
like what they would just like what
like
they would
Guardians
wear
of the Galaxy.
on a planet, like not necessarily being form fit, athletic fit, like more comfortable. It's what you daily wear.
Well, I felt like
Krypton.
I felt like when they were going to pan back, we were going to see pockets on his pants.
Right, that's true.
Some little belt with like pouches on it. That was. I felt like that was going to be next, like his next costume. I was like, wait a minute, that's okay. Just a little bit of the aesthetic, but that's easily overlooked because of the movie. It's just after you get used to it, it's like, oh, okay.
I like the Justice Gang's uniforms. Those were pretty dope.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 3.75. 3 3/4.
That's a very
So,
specific number. You got to explain.
3
that. You
and
gotta elaborate
3/4.
that. You gotta elaborate.
I don't know how our editor is going to do that, but okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
I don't know. Like it's right that it's really good. I'm not sure what it could have done to be better. It could have done many things to be worse, but it was
Yeah.
really, really good. I just feel like, I don't know. I think I'm just waiting for more of the story I feel like is there to be had.
Okay.
Okay, here's my take on this.
Because it was such centralized.
James Gunn, like I said, we already knew what James Gunn was bringing into the table going before. It was rich in color. The screenplay was written pretty well. Lex Luthor did a great job, but till the end, when he started crying, that kind of I didn't like that. And then when Superman confronted him and he started whining, that kind of drawled that down a little bit. So there was certain areas where it's like that wasn't necessary. The whole thing about the squirrel, I don't care about that darn squirrel.
But
What makes it
Superman
so-
does.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Superman
what,
does.
which is cool
Superman.
and
That's what-
dandy,
that's
but
why he's super.
as a rating going forward. So
Is that-
just because
Oh,
this
wait.
is a new one going
Yeah,
in,
Squirrel.
and it was great. I'm going to go ahead and give it its 4 Superman signs. On.
Squirrel-
I'll
Yeah,
give
yeah,
it.
you got
I'm going to give it 4. It was a great, entertaining movie. Hopefully, when it comes out, and then they show, I can't even say DV. I can't even say a Blu-ray or something because now
Yeah.
that's ancient.
No. It
Digital
comes on streaming.
streaming.
Coming on
digital.
streaming. I guess we'll just watch it from there. You guys, I want to say again, we are back. Everything's back going. We are in our new studio. You know, it looks great.
Yes.
Everything's going. It's a new beginning, like this movie. And you guys, it's just going to keep going. Wichita Vice is back. Sports Fellas is back. We are bringing back the Cutting Crew. We're also going to have some new shows lined up. We'll stay tuned to that as well. As always, it's always good that you guys are back and tuning in. And do not forget, follow us. Hit that like and subscribe. You guys are losing out on free tickets, your giveaways, and then also support your local movie theaters, you guys.
Yes.
It's a shout out to all our movie theaters all over the United States, here in town, in the world, whoever's listening to us. You guys show some love to the movie theaters. It's once in a while. I get it when you got to stay home and stream. That's understandable. But
Yeah.
let's don't let the movie theater die out.
No.
Let's just don't
please.
let it die out. Any shout outs, Marquez, before we go?
All of my friends and family, too many to list, guys. We'll be here for another hour or however long. I love you guys and thank you for listening, and the cast and crew here.
I'm going to shout out Everett, who, against his desire, got up at early on a Saturday and by 10 o'clock in the morning to go watch this movie with me. So thanks, buddy.
That's a big sacrifice, Everett.
Yeah,
Good job,
it really
Everett.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's start for always the people that does this for me behind the scenes. You know, shout out to our boy Eric. Always, it's always
Yes.
thankful what he's done. I mean, this new studio looks great.
Yeah, it really does.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Also, shout out to Dalby Designs as well, getting us going over there at TikTok and the mainstreams there, and also Powell making things situated there at YouTube. I want to give a shout out to the people I talked to about movies. Shout out to my friend Tom, always giving me some insight and some pointers. Tom, you don't go unnoticed. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. And to our new listeners, of course, we have Sierra, Chris, our boy Christian is out there going to Korea. Safe travels, my friend. Hope you do well. Enjoy yourself. Also to the friends and family, you know, this goes out to you guys as well. And also, I want to give a special shout out to some close people, you know, to Thiago, Bella, and Adeli. You know, the show's dedicated to you guys. And also to our good friends out there. Monty, you know, hope you're doing well. And Marquez, you know, thank you for sharing that with us.
Of course.
That meant a lot, man. And I'm real proud of you. Call you my friend.
Oh,
And you, Chris, as well.
Likewise.
Thank you, guys. And you too, Eric. You're not left behind. Until then, oh yeah, one last one. Our buddy Eric out in Turkey. We love you, bro. Hope you're doing well. Until then, we're out.